Happy Tuesday. Yes, I have been absent. It has been such a crazy weekend. Yes, I missed my Saturday video. For those of you that were waiting on that Saturday video, I know I failed. I failed miserably at getting a video up on Friday and on Saturday and on yesterday. So my apologies. Saturday was a bit crazier than I expected. And at the end of the video, I'm going to do a big shout out to a couple of places for Saturday. Some people that keep me sane. And then yesterday I worked overtime. It's gonna be a week of overtime. So, but I do have several things that I want to talk about today. So I'm hoping that this can go a little longer. I'm on lunch break, so I'm gonna try to jam pack as much as I can into this while I have time. First off, I want to hope that everybody is doing really well with defying the mask mandate here in Kentucky. As you know, on February 26th, Andy extended another 30-day mask mandate. I'm sure, just like most Kentuckians, like myself, we're getting really tired because we've got 16 states total right now that have to date lifted their state mask mandates. For those of you that don't know which ones they are, I do have the list. It is Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Arizona, Alaska, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. Now, that being said, I do not want to get misinformation out there. Yes, the governors have lifted the state mask mandates for their states. However, they have and do continue to allow the individual municipalities to enforce a mask mandate in their cities, counties, municipalities individually. They're just not statewide mask mandating. So, if you go to, and I'm going to use this as an example because we go there a lot. If you go to Tennessee, if you visit Gatlinburg, Sevier County, or Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Gatlinburg City, they may say, we are still enforcing a mask mandate because we are a tourist city, while the state is not mandating it. Those individual cities or counties can. Also, the national park, because it is federal land, due to Biden issuing federally in the park, you still have to wear a mask. So, take that for what it is. This is just the first step of fighting back. So we're moving in steps in the right direction. I don't think it's enough, but we have to take our small victories where we can get them. So Andy, I'm talking directly to you now. Stop it. We're done. We're not going to wear the masks anymore. We need you to stop. Stop it. So, stop. That's my Andy bash for the day. Well, not quite the full Andy bash for the day. Sorry, I just dropped a bunch of shit. I'm going out of screen for a minute. I'm back. Oh, so anyway, that now I'm all up on my rug. It's all messed up. I'm a hot mess today, guys. Seriously. Hot mess. But that's okay. I digress. I'm a mess. So gonna concentrate on some things that happened locally this weekend. In my last video, I brought up an interesting point, and like, I don't know if there's a glitch in the matrix, or you know, if I'm just really good at this stuff just kind of coinciding with things that I happen to say, if it was just because the weather was nice. I don't know. But I had commented that we haven't seen a whole lot of protesting going on now that Biden had taken office. And I should have never said that. Because lo and behold, our beautiful swamp city of Louisville was taken over by the swamp rats of Black Lives Matter in downtown Louisville Saturday. They were out in full force. I follow LMPD Live because I back the blue. We've had that conversation on some of my videos too. I back the blue. And they have gotten smart and started doing a live feed every time they go out and have to deal with these asshats, which is good because that protects them. I think it's a great thing. It's a great idea for them to do it. And one of the places that this group, terrorist group, showed up was at the convention center. And I'm going to get on a rant about this because, one, I can, and two, it kind of pulls it at my heartstrings a little bit. Apparently there was a cheerleading competition going on at the convention center this weekend. And they were outside blocking the entrances, threatening these young ladies and the mothers and parents that were going in, exposing themselves, some of the, and I don't even want to call them men, the male species of this group, terrifying and terrorizing these young ladies and their families. And I watched part of it. This loud thing, and yes, I'm going to call her a thing, because a lady, a young woman, would never, ever behave in this manner, was screaming through a megaphone that while Black mothers are burying their children, that white mothers get to escort their white privileged daughters to a cheerleading competition. Now, I'm going to speak from my own experience. And yes, it has been a very, very long time. But things don't change that much. When I was in high school, and yes, I understand I'm old now, okay? But when I was in high school, my high school cheerleading squad, which I was a part of, was a nationally competing squad. We worked our asses off to travel nationally to compete. And before you get to go compete nationally, you travel across the state to compete locally. And again, we had to work our asses off. It wasn't just about practices and working routines, and it was about going out and fundraising and doing, because you had to pay for this. You know, it's not something that the school just said, oh, well, here's the money, you get to go do it. And again, I live in a very rural area, so our parents, you know, yeah, they had to pay for part of it, but they couldn't just write out thousands of dollars worth of checks for us to take these extravagant trips. We had to fundraise for it, or else we couldn't go. And we knew that. So it was car washes, it was, you know, bake sales. It was, I mean, we worked our asses off to get to go on these trips to Dallas, to Nashville, to, you know, wherever it was that we were going. And when we got there, guess what? It wasn't just white kids. It was kids of color, Latinos, blacks. I mean, we encountered all colors of young women who had to work their asses off to get where we got, doing the same things. How dare you accost these young girls? How dare you? You are a miserable, miserable piece of shit for attacking these children. Children. And you best believe that had been my daughter that they were attacking verbally, somebody's brains would have been spewed right there. I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't think twice. Nobody's going to run up on my daughter, my kid, and threaten them the way this woman and this group of people was threatening these kids. No. No. They want to make this about race, and a cheerleading competition is not about race. It's about hard work. And I'm going to say it, and getting your ass up out of the ghetto and earning something instead of expecting to be handed it. Louisville, you got a problem on your hands. And Mayor Fisher and old Governor Andy, you've perpetuated it. City Council down there, you've perpetuated it. You're the reason this is happening. You've allowed your city to be taken over by a terrorist organization. And because you up to date have not gotten it under control, it is going to spread like wildfire, worse than it was before. And you wonder why businesses are leaving. You wonder why businesses won't come. You wonder why the general public won't come and put money back into downtown. Do you think that whatever organization it was, and I don't know what organization it was. I don't know if it was UCA. I don't know if it was, NCA or UDA. I don't know, because these are all different organizations. There's tons of them that do these cheerleading competitions. But do you think after that incident that corporation is ever going to come back to Louisville to hold another event? Because I'm going to tell you, if I was sitting on that board, I would say no. I'm not putting children at risk for potential violence and putting their families at risk for potential violence when I can go to a safer city. You wouldn't get our money again. And you would know exactly why. I mean, there's footage of this. Go to Facebook, go to LMPD Live, and they have footage of it happening. I would share it on my video, but they don't have it shareable. So again, go to Facebook, go to LMPD Live, and you can see all the videos from Saturday. And there's like 4 or 5 of them where they had to respond to this mobile caravan of idiot protesters wreaking havoc in the streets of downtown Louisville. So then, I mean, you can't make this shit up. Not only did that happen, another part of downtown Louisville, same group of protesters, they had someone riding on the hood of a car. So what do the police do? They pull them over for a traffic violation, which of course, again, is racist. You have someone riding on the hood of your car. What if that person fell off and you ran over them, or another car ran over them and hit them in the street? I mean, let's not use any common sense. That's one, dangerous, and two, it's against the law. You can't do it. Whether you're black, white, brown, green, purple, you can't do that. And they get upset because they're being racially profiled. No, you idiot. It's a traffic violation. You can't do it. You deserve a ticket. Well, then they threatened to tow her car because she couldn't provide proof of insurance. That would have been done to me had I been in the same situation. Finally, she finds her proof of insurance. They cite her, give her a ticket, and send her on her way. But the whole time, the whole group is surrounding LMPD, trying to be threatening, cursing them, calling them every name in the book, telling them that they better be ready, they're going to make them work, and, you know, this is what the nice weather brings out. You know, you didn't see them when it was cold and snowing outside. But the minute we get a pretty day, boom, here they are again. And one of the 502 live streamers got arrested that day. I'm not going to say his name because it's not worth saying, but he's a piece of shit. So I was quite entertained by that. One of my girlfriends who watches these sometimes, she can't stand him either, so I'm pretty sure she was enjoying that as much as I was, because we both can't stand him. And he was on his Facebook page bitching and whining and crying about how they left his car running in the impound lot, left his windows down, and his car was dusty, and it was out of gas, and the battery was dead, and blah, 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 and... Wah. Don't break the law. It's real simple. You know, you think you're some big injustice warrior. You're not. You're an asshat. I mean, you're an asshat. You work for a terrorist organization. You represent a terrorist organization, and you think you're doing something great, and you are blinded by the fake media into buying into the fact that you are privileged for being white, and you look stupid. I mean, come on. Again, anyway. So, yeah, they had to deal with this all over the city, again, on Saturday, and I just... God love LMPD officers. They have way more patience than I do. But, you know, here we go. We're ramping up protest season again because it's starting to be nice weather. They're complaining because they've got police sitting 24 hours on the square, so that people don't pop up tents and sleep there. It's not a campground. It's not a campground. So, you know, you can get mad all you want to, but it's not a campground. It's not a place for you to, you know, pop a tent and camp for the weekend. They've nicknamed it Injustice Square because, you know, there's so much injustice going on in Louisville. I mean, you know, hey, because the cops are so racist. So, yeah, that's, head on over to LMPD Live, check out the videos, because I want people to hear the ignorance, just the sheer ignorance of the people who are leading these movements and out on the streets. It is comical and sad at the same time. There is zero education in these people. Yeah, zero education, zero common sense. And these are the people that are saying they're gonna rise up and lead a revolution. Wow. Okay. I really especially enjoyed the part where she said that the chick, the thing chick with the microphone said that apparently she was talking to an LMPD female officer and she was like, "You want to be me?" And I'm like, I'm pretty sure she doesn't. You know, and here's the other thing. They're out there screaming, "I love being black." Good. Good. You should. I have no issue with that. If you're black, you should love being black. If you are Native American, you should love being Native American. If you are Hispanic or Latino, you should love being Hispanic or Latino. I'm white. I love being white. There is no difference. You should love the skin you're in. Embrace what you are. It is who you are. No matter what color you are, you should love yourself. That's not racist. But I guarantee if I stood on my street corner with a megaphone and said, "I love being white," I would be called a racist. We should all love who we are. Every single one of us should love who we are. I love the fact that I have such a mixed, diverse heritage of German and Welsh and a little bit of Native American and British. And I love all those aspects. I love that I'm an American that came from all of those places. And that I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, dark-haired, curly-haired, pale-skinned mixture of all of those wonderful things that was born here in America and born free. Like, you know, be proud of who you are. It's great. It's fantastic. You should totally love the skin you're in. Like, nobody is saying you shouldn't. But the problem with that is that people of color can scream all day long about how they are proud of being a person of color. But white people can't, because that makes us racist. It's kind of an oxymoron. Like, I mean, I have no problem with people screaming that they love being black. I think that's great. I think it's wonderful. Like, you do you. That's great. You should. Whatever. Rock on with that. I love being white. It's okay. Anyway, enough of that. So, that's my little tidbit about what's going on around here. And the other thing is, if you notice how they do it in the cities, this is my other problem. Like, come out where I live and do that shit. Like, go out to your rural areas and pull that shit. You don't see these protesters going to rural areas and doing it. You ever wonder why? I know why. That shit wouldn't fly out here. Tearing up our cities and doing that shit. That would not fly. That would not fly at all. They would get met with, let me say it this way, a bit of resistance that they aren't getting met with in the urban areas. But if they want to have that conversation, they can stroll right on out here. We can have it. They can come film it. I'll be filming it. All right, so I'm at 26 minutes. I'm pretty sure my lunch break is almost over. I need to check my time really quick. Because the rest of this I might have to save for tomorrow. Let me see. I didn't realize my rant was going to take that long. Yes, because this next bit is about 3 pages long, something that I watched that was very interesting. So I will give you like a little preview of what tomorrow is going to be, because tomorrow we're also doing live. We're also going to do a live tomorrow night. So I'm going to actually do 2 videos tomorrow. I'm going to do a midday and I'm going to do the live. So tomorrow's midday, we're going to talk about the Looking Glass Project, because I watched a really interesting video on that. And I really want to kind of talk about that. There was some interesting stuff. So tomorrow's midday is going to be on the Looking Glass Project, which we can always go into a discussion about tomorrow evening on the live. But yes, Looking Glass Project for sure tomorrow on the midday. That's what we're going to shoot for, but I've got to cut it loose now because I'm going to end up running over if I try to go into that today. So again, I'm going to try to post a link to LMPD's videos. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm going to try to, for all the nonsense that happened over the weekend, so that you guys can see it. And if not, just get on Facebook, LMPD Live, go to their videos. I wish we could share the hell out of them so that people could see the nonsense that's going on. But we'll try to get that going, and see what we can do with that. So that's it for today. It's a beautiful day outside. If you can get outside today, do it. It is beautiful. I've been outside a couple of times with the dog while I was on my break. I intend on spending some time outside this evening. I've got some great photos I want to share with you guys. I may try to do another video tonight if I can bust away long enough to do it. Did some really cool things this weekend. On Sunday, took some drive around the county. Went and saw the firefighter memorial here in Frankfort. Took my husband there because he's been really wanting to go. So I'm going to try to get some of those up in the next, if not tonight, in the next day or two. So get out, enjoy the weather, enjoy the day. It's fantastic outside. And And I will catch you guys back here very, very soon with some more really cool info and some really cool photos from our adventures over the weekend. So have a great night, have a great afternoon, and don't wear your mask, be loud, be obnoxious, and have fun with it. And I will see you guys very, very, very soon.